Hello. Welcome to today's messages. I still haven't found my pendant. So, this is what we have. Okay, let's check in with the energies of today. First, we will tune in. Beautiful. Excelente. Okay, let's ask the Octurians to what was that? Okay, we'll roll with it. To let us know what, where, why, when, how, who, how much, and when. But we already know when. In divine timing. Always. Oh no. Oh no, 1 second. Okay. Hi. I forgot my water. I forgot my water. Okay. Let's see what they've got for us. I saw that one at the bottom. And I was like, hey, how you doing? I feel like this might be blueprint. Yes. We all have our blueprint, our own program that we took with us to this life on earth. To become fully balanced, you need to release all programs that are no longer working in your favor, right? Unlearning the things that we were learned, we were conditioned. Sometimes you have to, I think most of the times, you have to learn the rules to know when and how and why to break them, right? Or bend them. Or find the loophole around them. I love a loophole. I do. I really do. Okay, let's get a room. Was. There's the death and release, transformation. From the old springs forth the new, the old acting as fertilizer. Okay. It's funny, this black cat, because I went to bed kind of late. I think it was like 11:30 or whatever. And I'm lying in bed, going to sleep. Both the cats are out. And then I hear this sound of this person outside shaking food and calling for a kitty. And they walked past the back, and I'm like, and I see darkness running around her. So I'm like, is this person, is that their cat? Like, is darkness their cat? And whose cat is she trying to coax or find, right? And Mims, I mean, she's a beautiful kitty, and she's out there. And as much as I'm like, she makes her own choices, she does what she wants. If she comes over and wants in, I let her in, right? She gets free reign. She can hang out with whoever she wants to. And anyways, I ended up going outside. And I didn't know what time it was. And then when I checked my camera the next morning, it was like 1:00 in the morning. So somehow I lost time. Like, I was lying in bed for an hour and a half before I got up and then walked around outside in the dark with darkness. And Scully, actually, they both, the sun and the darkness, were both running around. And I didn't find Mims. And then I just get into bed, and then she's at my window. Meow. And I was like, ugh. So I got to get up and let her in again. But Darkness, he's so frisky. He was just running back and forth. You hear the boop, 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 boop on the ground. It's because he sleeps all day. And I mean, I think he recognizes his darkness because, well, he has to, because when he used to sneak in all the time, he would hide in dark spots. He knows he's dark. He knows people can't see him. Anyways, kitties can be significant. Signs, synchronicities, guides. I feel like cats are definitely guardians, and they also can see beyond the realms. It was funny. I was gonna let Mims out, and she's looking at me in the reflection of the sliding glass door as I'm walking towards it to let her out. And she kept like looking at me in real life and looking at my reflection. And as I'm looking at her through the reflection, it kind of struck me as these like as multidimensional beings that they are. I wonder if that's how they see through dimensions. They're like panes of glass that you can see a reflection off of, but also an awareness of what's beyond the glass. It's interesting. Anyways, kitties. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see what's up. Okay. Let's see. What are we releasing? Where are we standing? What's our divine blueprint? Releasing outdated programs, returning to factory settings, unlearning all the conditioned things that were meant to make us small, make us weak, make us feel unworthy. And all of that jazz. Ugh. Okay. Interesting. So we've got the hanging out, looking at things in different perspectives, kind of making the most of where you are at, right? When you're hanging out, what else can you do but look around, see things differently, right? And think and consider and be, okay? And then we've got the sentinel, the protection. This is my ready to protect you night, okay? And then we've got choices that you are making with your intuition, okay? Choices that balance. Okay. So protecting your energy, protecting your newness, the choice to, I guess you could choose when you're hanging there to whine and cry and close your eyes and not look around and see things from different perspectives. I mean, we always have that choice, right? Let's see what else. But keeping yourself protected in unknown spaces. It's giving me that like chrysalis stage when you're hanging there. There's like a vulnerability and this protecting yourself during this vulnerable period of transformation. Oh. So I got hidden agendas from people who want what you have, want what you're serving, okay? But because yay, because fives are a halfway point, right? It's for or against, people for or against you. So there are those who will fill your cup or add to your cup or support your cup. And then there are those who want to drink from your cup, suck from your cup, even put tiny fissures in your cup because they're like, who do you think you are with a cup or whatever, right? There's those people. And this in the shadows, but yet to be revealed, right? So I feel like this moon is offering even if there are those who are under your radar, um, they will be revealed in divine timing, right? As the moon gets fuller, the surrounding area gets brighter and more becomes visible. Okay, so this is what you're protecting. You're protecting your overflow from ulterior motives of people, of others. Okay, I'm also giving this how you view people, right? This could also represent your tendency to assume the worst in people, right? Like it can be a safety mechanism. If you meet somebody and you assume that they have ulterior motives and then you send them away, well, this can keep you safe, yes, but it also keeps you alienated and alone, okay? And so, yes, protect yourself, but consider the evidence clearly, okay? And there is something to your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, then it's probably not, right? But recognize when it's like an old or an ego inspired worst case scenario, waiting for the shoe to drop. It's too good to be true, so I'm going to demonize the person and release them before they have a chance to hurt me or deceive me or whatever, right? So there is that, because you've worked really hard to become this cup that overflows. Okay, but you've got the sun. Okay, this is a hell of a this is your divine blueprint. Okay, this is your internal sunshine. This is what will reveal everything, right? We've got the sun and the moon balance. And so I feel like this is the trust. This is also you're letting go of that old suspicious version of you who needed to be suspicious because you didn't have the proper lens to spot the nefarious, right? But now you do. Now you do. I feel like because this is liquid sunshine, anybody who gets close to it will be revealed because there's sunbeams coming out of your liquid sunshine, right? So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to have the same types of defense mechanisms anymore. I also am getting like divinely protected, like on a spiritual level. your guides and spirit team and archangels, they're going to be sending you the signs and synchronicities when something isn't for you. And you can trust that, right? This is part of the development of your intuition. Oh, this is part of you becoming an emperor, okay? Someone who is the leader of you, right? The one who makes all the decisions, the ones who punish and bless and have the discernment ability to know and choose and do what is necessary for the good of all, right? Okay, for the good of the world. This is beautiful. This is also a what goes around comes around. This is like a year in review. This is why I think this is like an old cycle that you were choosing to release, right? It's one of those old programs. I mean, even like shows like Lost and The Walking Dead. They're the two that just popped into my brain because they have quite a few seasons in both of those, but it's all about not trusting the other, right? There's our group and then there's the other group, and we don't trust the other group. And it's really an old way of thinking, but this is conditioned, right? Like it's in our culture, it's in our tapestry of society that affects us, right? And so part of this pioneering and carving new ways and being a forerunner in the spiritual movement, it's about removing those old programs, removing those old conditions, and going back to the source, which is divinity, which is light, which is sunshine. Okay, because you've got a happily ever after coming in quick. Okay, the timelines are lining up. It's almost like every time you release something from the old ways of thinking, doing, being, this assuming that someone's out to get you, right? I mean, I had my own mother tell me to tell my son to make sure that he's not too good when he's working or out in the world, because then he will out himself and people will come after him and try to stomp him out. Jealousy or control or whatever, right? And because I am a curse breaker and a pattern recognizer, I was like, what? That's the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. But it was also like a wake up call. First of all, my mom lived her whole life believing that and definitely had evidence to back up her beliefs, right? That was her life experience. And I've also had that. I've had lots of people who have been in positions that could help or encourage or uplift, and they chose not to, right? Because of whatever their reasons were. Like it's that it's fine if we're on the same page, but the minute you start to move up higher, no, I gotta stamp you down because nobody's gonna be higher than me or whatever, right? This competitive um, comparison that is rampant in the world. And you are deleting those old programs and thus able to recognize them, right? It's like a pattern recognition. You've figured out the pattern, you've seen it, and now when you look, you recognize, oh, there's that pattern, right? And so every time you let go of an old program, of an old way of being, and it's really shining the light upon it, right? It's not letting your imagination fill in the blanks. It's actually shining light upon it and looking at it for what it is, and then making your choices. Okay, because I mean, the most beautiful, harmonious, loving, compassionate, heart-based, centered, balanced, right? Like you got all the colors and all the cups and they're overflowing, and you've got community, people, beautiful. This is like spirit team, soul tribe, chosen family, and love. Okay, yes. Yes. And that's coming in the chariot, the fastest moving energy. But look at the moons, right? It's like lining up your timeline, bringing this timeline to you, and you, because it's a collaboration, meeting the timeline halfway, right? Gorgeous. What's this? This one? I mean, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. The Ace of Coins just keeps coming, because it is meant to be yours, and what you do with it. I mean, you can take this coin and you can stick it in a lockbox and sit on it and look at it every once in a while, right? And be like, I have this coin. Or you can plant it into the ground where it blooms and grows and is prolific and gorgeous. The choice is yours, okay? But I'm also getting, this is protected. This, when you, because how it's put right here, I feel like this is also people contributing and trying to take away from, right? This is coming to you. It's protected. It's the seeds that appear when you release the old. I keep getting that composting, right? When you're releasing the old, it's turning into compost and enriched soil, so that and everything that you plant into it can bloom into its biggest and brightest and best. Okay, the Ace of Coins presents us with new beginnings, financial opportunities, and prosperity. The origin of this gift may be unexpected, like magical beans, but through nourishment and support, the benefit could be miraculous. It's time to make dreams a reality. New business, money, investments, abundance, and security. And it's on this sentinel, right? This security. Beautiful. Jack and the Beanstalk. And it makes me think of Mickey and the Beanstalk, the Disney reboot or version or alternative or whatever, with it's Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, and Mickey goes and sells the the cow because everybody's hungry and starving. So he brings the cow, and then he meets somebody, and he gets these beans, this little handful of beans, and he comes home and he shows the guys, yeah, fellas, I sold the cow for some magic beans. And Donald, I don't know if you remember Donald, but he has quite the temper. He freaking loses it. He's like, what? Because he's so hungry. Oh, yeah. And while Mickey's away, Donald and Goofy are going off about all the things that the money from the cow will be able to buy and all these things that they can eat. And so they're talking about like pancakes piled up till they reach the sky, and then so when Mickey walks in, he's got this little handful of beans. They're like, what the heck? So anyways, Donald smacks Mickey's hand and the beans go flying and they fall down a hole in the floorboards and they're gone. And so now it was really all for naught, right? Seemingly. So it was like the people around Mickey didn't believe that the beans were magic. And then as they slept, when they were all in a state of release, the beans grew. And then when they woke up to a whole new world. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, you know the story. I don't know why but we'll just trust that that's just part of it. Okay, let's see what kind of archetype comes out for us to consider. Anima Mundi. Oh, this is interesting because it doesn't have a distinct up or down, and it's got a back and a forth as well. Interesting. See? But that figure right there, the central figure, is what grounds it, is what determines its orientation. It's through your choice and presence that anchors, that creates a bottom. Okay, let's see what it's talking about. What you talk about, Willis? Anima Monday, anima and animus. Isn't that a thing? Anima and animus. This is going to be over here. Anima Mundi, the soul of the world, all that is. Is this your blueprint? Is this your return to who you are? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's read it. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an invitation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the chanted melody of all living things. Wow. When in light, tending to the sacred details of life. When dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. Anima Mundi is the energy behind the world card in the tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, and embrace. Ooh. Wowza. The embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. Okay. So this is the core, right? And your return, your unlearning, your deleting of those old programs that no longer serve, those conditions. It's a return to who you truly are at your center, at your core. And it is sun. Okay, this is why you fill your cup with liquid sunshine, but it is also the balance, okay, with the sun and the moon. Wow. I'm gonna get a fairy card today. Feel like we haven't heard from the fairy folk in a while. And then we'll get one from the kitties, because I totally went off on cats this morning, or earlier in the beginning. What do we got? He of the fiery sword. Wow. Wowza. And it's a number 4. Beautiful. He of the fiery sword, the active principle, spiritual will, justice, and protection. Beautiful, because we've got the sentinel right in the center, right? Okay. I need to rearrange. Let's put that here. And he of the fiery sword. When the song comes into any of the manifest worlds, this world, or fairy, or another, it first encounters 2 principles, sometimes called yin and yang, or masculine and feminine, or great god and great goddess. He of the fiery sword is the primal manifestation of the yang principle, action, will, movement, force, fire. We see him in many ways, each one an aspect of his total being. All of the great gods and protectors are aspects of this power. Okay, this is giving me emperor vibes. And remember, with the emperor, it's also sacrifice, knowing when to sacrifice for the greatest good of all, right? It's making choices for the greatest good. Okay. The fiery sword is the archetype of all magical and mundane swords, and written upon the blades are the words, "Draw me not without cause, nor return me without honor." A member of the oracle group notes his fiery sword illuminates truth and dispels non-truth. Beautiful. Okay, this is what we were talking about with discernment on those attracted to you for whatever their reasons are, right? We can call upon the mastery of the fiery sword when we have difficult things to do, when we need to take action that is going to require much of us, both in will and in compassion. Another of the oracle group reminds us he will do what needs to be done with love. That's the emperor, right? When looking at this card, my neighbor saw it not as a sword, but as a feather of light. He saw it as a symbol of the ability to fly, to rise above things. An oracle group member saw it as someone reaching up, ascending, surrounded by multiple reflections, and filled with light and power. Wow. The presence of this fiery sword's master in a reading can indicate that there is or there is need for clear and focused will and a determination to carry through on decisions, even if much effort is required. Or he can tell us that such will and strength is present in regard to the issues under consideration. We need to consider how he is expressing his will and strength and how this expression may be enhanced or improved. It is this singer's energy that it enables us to burst the bonds of an outgrown way of being and move on to the next level. He indicates that this is a time to take action based on clear spiritual will. His presence indicates great strength and great potential for good. It also reminds us that if we call upon him, we will receive assistance. The presence of this card is in a reading radiates strength and willpower to the cards around it. Okay, and so one of the main things that was coming up was this discernment and that old, outdated way of assuming the worst in people, in places, in events, right? Now you are training yourself to expect the best, right? For miracles, for evidence of the divine. And this shapes your world. This has a direct reflection on your world, right? Like my mother, she has evidence of people treating her poorly, but it's because that was the frequency she was emitting, right? And this is no fault of hers. These are these old programs, these old conditions that have been shaped and instilled throughout the generations previous. And this is a call to your divine blueprint for your purpose on here in this time is to flip, change, delete, rewrite, and restore the core of who you are, right? And that is one who trusts and believes, trusts in the miracles, believes in the good, right? And this isn't like naivety, but wasn't it Jesus? Wasn't it Jesus? When like to heal the sick, he only saw it felt like it was like he would find the dimension that version the dimension that person who was ill was healthy and pull them forth. Something like that was going on. But it was he refused to acknowledge or see their sickness. He only saw through to their core And at their core, they are light, sun, and love, right? And in this witnessing and his embodiment, he was able to coax or inspire that version of them out. And so there's something to do with alchemy as well, right? So even if you it's like view adversaries as toddlers or children. When you recognize that someone is operating from a comparison, competition thing, you're at a stage or you're being called to get to a place where instead of taking offense, taking it personal, whatever, kind of becoming the parent to the toddler that's acting out, right? They're still learning, they're still figuring it out. It's like, oh, okay, well, you go have your temper tantrum over there. Okay, when you're ready, when you're feeling better, then you can come back and we can hug it out or whatever, right? Okay. We've got Seeker. Meet Spiral. He is always searching, reaching, seeking, and questioning. He even looks a bit like a question mark. He is endlessly curious kitty, peering into the mystery and seeing what stars he can bring home to his family. Follow this kitty as you spiral inward and seek to understand yourself more fully. Peer deep into what you feel, what you believe, and what you know. Ask what is hiding beneath this feeling. Where did this belief originate? And where is it taking me? What are the treasures of meaning and understanding that I can distill from each experience? Spiral is calling you to begin your quest today. Yeah, and I mean, we can look to our family sometimes, right? And the dynamics and spot the patterns that are existing in them as well in order to find that core pattern that is running through your family lineage, right? And shining light upon it so that you can more easily see. Because our imaginations are more terrifying, right? The things that we fill the blanks with are more scary than anything that could actually be in the darkness. And this is why it's so important to have this beautiful balance, because where there is light there is dark, right? It's this world that we live in. And so see things as they are, not as you project them to be. Okay, there's Seeker. And Magic Maker. Meet Lynx. She is a sorceress, a shaman, and a witch cat. She is the part of you that creates a magical brew of intention and action that results in manifestations beyond your wildest dreams. She can usher in deep healing and revolutionary transformations. Turn inward, connect to the powerful current of your life force, and conduct that energy into creations for the good of all. You have everything you need within you. Don't hold back. The world needs your magic. Claim your place at the table of dreamers and magic makers, and Lynx will meet you there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, it's time to recognize your collaboration with the universe, your meeting halfway through how you choose to perceive, right? Beautiful. Let's get some love messages. Gratitude. Yes. Always love and gratitude. Trust the process. Trust that all things are meant to be. All things are part of the process. And this allows you to release any resistance that might appear when something in the process doesn't seem to be ideal for you, right? Instead of being like, what the, right? What the fork? You're like, okay, this is part of the process too. Let's move quickly through it, right? Because you've got this. You've got this. Yes. Keep on your conscious breathing. Yes, very important. Deep breaths. 3 mindful, conscious deep breaths. Be aware, even visualize beautiful, whatever color fills you up. It can be golden liquid sunshine color. It can be green earth color. It can be blue, empowering heart, throat chakra power. White light that cleanses, purifies. Red, it can burn through, right? Whatever. Use what works for you, okay? But visualize breathing in life force energy and visualize releasing on your out breath anything that no longer serves that's in you, right? It's like pushing out the shadows, the ink, and filling it with liquid sunshine. Take bold action, okay? This is what this emperor and the Anima Mundi and the he of the fiery sword, right? We've got lots of bold action taking. And this is a type of fearlessness to take action, to make what you want, to take what you want, to go after what you want, to make things happen for the good of all, for love. Okay, and switch up your normal route, your usual route. Yes, we need to, and this is actually like giving me switch up your routine, right? Notice your own patterns and behaviors and repetitions, and find little ways of shifting and changing them. This builds momentum. Never underestimate the power of small changes on the whole. Just like taking a different route one day, right? You're seeing different things than you would normally. And that is energy changing, right? Okay. Okay, we've got my sun and moon kitty, which is perfect because we have the sun and moon out here today. We also have the twin flame butterfly that keeps wanting to come out. This is really that balance, that masculine and feminine coming together, that two becoming one, the gorgeousness, integration, balance, completeness. Okay, we've got the protection symbol, empowered. So this is giving me the sentinel protection. We've got the leaf here. This go with the flow, knowing that you are divinely protected. Okay, you don't need to worry so much. You don't need to keep looking back and making sure that nobody's following you. I mean, use your intuition and stuff like that, but You are so highly protected that you can just be, and all of those creatures out there with ulterior motives will be looking the other way when you pass by or not even in the neighborhood, right? Okay. Because it takes a lot of energy, right? When you're aware that there are ulterior motive people out there just waiting to sip from your cup, right? And so instead of this energy being used to create and to nurture and to build and grow, part of your energy is in that, what if they use and abuse me? What if they take me, right? And I feel like this is that old program that you're releasing, um, that prepare for the worst case scenario always. You don't need to anymore, because you've reached a level of completeness where you're so highly adaptable. You're innately prepared for everything because you've completed your transformation into a butterfly. Beautiful. Oh, what's this? There's another two becoming one. This heart. Got two different ferns coming together to create this heart. Beautiful. So this could be a collaboration of some kind or other, right? Because we do have people drawn to you. And so absolutely love, friendship, partnerships of beautifulness will also be drawn to you. I mean, it's in the cards. It's what the universe is lining you up with, okay? So beautiful. Okay. Well, there you go. There's the reading for today. Okay. Lots of beautiful things to consider, to recognize. You are a star, and stars are suns. Okay, you got this. Yes, we've got things moving in your favor. We've got you ready to take bold action, to do what is needed to be done. Beautiful. You are a magic maker. Settle in, acknowledge it. That is your divine blueprint. Okay, love you, appreciate you, and wishing you all of the love, joy, peace, harmony you deserve. Bye for now.